Howdy! Welcome to a new Bags Cube video. And no, your eyes aren't mistaking you. If you've known anything about this channel, whenever I've done any musical unboxing whatsoever, I've usually pointed out things that I've called JoJo references. Too many quotation marks, but whatever. And people who are not aware of what that is a reference to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, a series that makes heavy references to a lot of Western music, like Prince, the Rolling Stones, Elvis. That's why I've said, is that a JoJo reference or obligatory JoJo reference or whatever I've said, which has led some people to be confused as to what I mean. This is the front and back. This is a recent release by, I believe, Milan, it's released by Milan, which I believe is a subsidiary of Sony, of one of Sony's record labels, which are also that same group that released the, that Evangelion vinyl I have in my collection, which, funnily enough, they're also releasing another one, but is actually the soundtrack for Neon Genesis Evangelion, but more so just the first volume of the soundtrack, which is what this is as well. This is actually just a version of the first of 3 soundtracks for Golden Wind, or Vento Arrero, if you want to be specific as to what it's actually called. Also, this knife I'm going to be using is missing the tip, so that's cool. I'd always wanted a vinyl release of a JoJo album, of a soundtrack at least, because it's very good music. It's made a lot of memes too. Very quickly going on to the back, Il Vento d'Oro is Giorno's theme song, which was a very popular meme a couple years back. Also, I should probably say this, on the back, you got one of the many images of the, Bucciarati and his gang. You got Giorno, you got Bucciarati, Narancha, Fugo, Mista, Abacchio. You got everyone. And a little fact, Giorno, this may be called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but when Part 5 was being serialized, it was actually spelled as Giojo, because his name is, I don't know if you can see that, Giorno Giovanna. Also, again, very quickly, I may have missed uploading last week. Yet again, you got another picture of the gang. Let me scoot this over. Them in all their awkwardly dressed glory. I missed uploading last week because, laziness. But next week, you're potentially getting 3 uploads for one reason being that next week is the reissue of Love, Sexy, and Come by Prince, so I'm going to be making a video about that. 2, not in one video, 2 separate videos, and maybe sometime early next week I'll upload a video about another gameplay video. Instead of inner sleeves, you have paper ones, but you also get a little thing about other records released by Milan. So if you want The Witcher, you sure as heck can get The Witcher. Oh, and here are more of their anime soundtracks. Case in point, the Evangelion one I talked about. Cowboy Bebop, obviously FLCL Volume 2 and 3. My Hero Academia, Returnal, which is not an anime, it's a game. Bell, Akira. You get a paper inner sleeve, which, me, I'm gonna replace with a different one. And there have been 4 different colored vinyl for this one. I'm gonna actually scoot this back a little bit. The regular one, which is the one from Milan or Amazon, is this yellow swirl vinyl. They call it that. Barnes & Noble has a gold vinyl, obviously referencing Giorno's Stand Gold Experience, which, yeah, it's a reference to Prince. Right Stuff Anime has a pink one, which is a reference to Most likely a reference to some of the Giorno's color scheme, which it's purple, but pink is also in the color scheme for Golden Wind, being, I guess, Trish's hair color, which she's not featured on here, because I don't think oh, no, wait. Speaking of Trish, there she is. The stand arrow, which is a big part of part 5. King Crimson, yes, that's a reference. Epitaph, yes, that's also a reference. They don't show anyone else's stands, though. Also, Milan usually just uses these little paper things in place of inner sleeves, which is nice because they don't get all messed up with regular paper inner sleeves, which I've had a lot tear on me from outside of the box. Like, plenty of Prince ones have done that, which is very annoying, and I would just rather they use thick inner sleeves like they did with, actually, the Gold Experience, the most recent release. And yet again, I don't think I finished what I was saying earlier, but the final color vinyl is an orange yellow swirl thing from this Black Label Records. I think that was what it was called. Basically, a lot of the colors pertain to this part in some form or another. But with that is the Golden Wind O.S.T. Overture, JoJo vinyl, whatever you want to call it. I've been Bags Cube. See you next week for potentially 3 uploads, maybe 1 gaming video, and the 2 Prince releases. See you then!